Welcome to Daily Dose Radio, a 5-minute devotional podcast studying the Psalms verse by verse. Broadcast from the ever-beautiful Sharonville, Ohio, on the sunny side of Cincinnati. Hey, welcome back to Daily Dose Radio, here in the Bible Bistro, where we strive to serve it up fresh and delicious every day. Come on in here. Sit down. We're going to look today at verses 27 through 30 in Psalm 107. This is still section 4 with the sailors going down to the sea in ships. They see all kinds of stuff in the sea, and then the sea gets a little rough. And when the sea gets rough, what do? They reel to and fro like a drunken man, and are at their wits' end. Then they cry unto the Lord in their trouble, and he bringeth them out of their distresses. He maketh the storm a calm, so that the waves thereof are still. Then are they glad because they be quiet, so he bringeth them unto their desired haven. Well, this is 27 through 30, and you'll notice, I read 27 yesterday, this is the end of their story. They're on the sea, they're doing business, it says, on great waters. So this is international shipping that we're talking about here. So they're going to and fro on the sea, and then the Lord does a work. He brings a stormy wind. The waves lift up. They go to heavens. They plunge down to the depths. The sailors, their soul is melted, and they're at their wits' end. So what do when your soul is melted and you're at your wits' end? Well, you cry out to the Lord in their trouble. What happens? He brings them out of their distresses. Now, he delivers them out of their distresses. There in the first part, in verse 6, and we have, he saves them out of their distresses in verse 19, and now we have, he brings them out of their distresses. You pick your verb here. He's bringing out of distress, because when your soul is melted and you're at your wits' end, there is no other place to go. You're at the bottom, and you need to look up. You need to look up to the Lord and call out to him. Again, the pinnacle of prayer. Here we climb the mountain here and see that prayer is the remedy for their soul-melting trouble, just like it's the remedy for your soul-melting trouble. Why don't you call on the Lord today? Call unto the Lord in your trouble, and he will bring you out of your distresses. We have in 29 and 30 the statement that is always sandwiched between the two parts of the refrain. The first part of the refrain is verse 28, then they cried unto the Lord. And the second part of the refrain is verse 31, oh, that men would praise the Lord for his goodness. So those two have always been together, but there's always been a statement in between them. This time the statement's a little bit larger. We have it in 2 verses. It's 2 sentences long. He makes the storm a calm, and the waves thereof are still. They are glad because they be quiet, so he brings them unto their desired haven. So the Lord makes the storm calm, the waves he stills, he brings them to their desired haven. Again, this is all the work of the Lord, and it answers directly to what we found up there in verse 26. The waves mounted to the heavens, they went down to the depths. The soul of the sailor was melted because of trouble. So now we have an answer that is specifically timed to treat the problem. The distress is the waves. The storm, the wind, has caused these waves, and it's dangerous, and it's soul-meltingly dangerous, and so they cry out to the Lord, and his answer is a direct response to their distress. He answers the storm, the waves, and brings them to their desired haven because they're doing business on great waters. And so that's the answer to their prayer. I hope you'll join me again tomorrow. We'll begin in verse 31, which is the end of the 4th section. So I hope you'll join me then on Daily Dose Radio. Thanks for listening to Daily Dose Radio. I'm David Smith. The music today has been performed by the Bluegrass Experiment. Thanks again for listening. I'll see you next time on Daily Dose Radio.